Yeah, I had to talk about this. I don't want to, but it's serious. Okay, so a little context. I have no idea about like all these newfangled games that these kids play. Like they seem simplistic at first, but then once you get underneath the layers, a lot of them can be complex. Like I'm ashamed to admit that Minecraft is a little too advanced for me. My cousin's like trying to show me how to play this game. I'm just like, what is going on? And it's so big and like it's in 3D. I can't handle it. I grew up playing games on the SNES and the Nintendo system. Those 2D graphical powerhouses. Like I don't know if 100% of the Nintendo 64 games were necessarily meant to, like were better off in 3D because it's like beyond like a lot of first party Nintendo games like their quality didn't really like match. But then again, you could argue that like the 2D games on Super Nintendo there's like varying quality. And like the joy and like the ability to have like emulation, like I can just check every SNES game. But back to the more serious topic about RoFlops or Roblox, as it is called. Apparently, it is a cultural phenomenon amongst kids, young adults. Just there was a story about like people who played this game, and then they meet their spouse off of this online game, and they're like both kids. That's incredible. I mean, I'm not saying that's completely unheard of. I'm just saying like on the rarity scale, like most most games have you like at odds with like the other person playing on the other side and stuff, right? Because they're not like these community based games. But Roblox is a strange case study. So first, let's delve into the mania that is monetization. So in this game, I don't know how. Like, does it need its own launcher, or do you use it through Steam? Actually, I'll look that up. But if if Steam knew about this, wouldn't they like tell them not to do this? Oh my god, it's its own website. Holy shit. Shh. Okay, so and it has gift cards. Gift cards. So in-game purchases, you could download Roblox. You have to sign in. It's on Google Play, on the App Store. Kids Choice Award. Oh, it was also on the Xbox One, but not PlayStation. See, this is why I'm a Sony pony. Like, in all honesty, like they probably said to themselves, Sony Computer Entertainment, yo, this is something we don't want. It's like copyright infringement plus like the insanity of like all this perversions and stuff. Like if people really wanted to take Roblox to court, like they could, but like it's weird how their characters are nothing more than Lego amalgamations of the things that they copy. And yet nobody really wants to call them their bullshit. Or like from what I can see from these screenshots, these people look like these characters look like Lego. And you think like Lego would sue, but there's no Lego pieces in the game. At least from what I can see. Yeah, there's no Lego pieces, so it's strictly like the characters look like uh Lego characters, except without like I don't know, weird. It's weird. They look like Lego characters, and there's no Lego anything. There's no references to Lego. No Ninjago. What's the other one? The one with I was watching this one. There's like the lore for it is really deep. They get the Matanui. Damn it. My brain is fried from trying to learn that shit. This is like kids like, who grew up with social media, like they can just like pick up on shit like that like really fast. To me it's just like it's lost on me. I was like trying to watch this YouTube video like talking about it. But, whatever. So two things that are wrong with this. So I was watching this and I said this in another video, but I'll just, touch on it here. Legendary Drops, really great YouTube channel. Go subscribe to him, watch him. I do. Like he has some of the most concise, down to earth, and he's very humble, but at the same time, he's very open with the way he speaks. Like he's not going to beat around the bush when he has to say something or he has to let something off his chest or he's leaving something out, like, and maybe I'm speaking too much high praise of this one guy, but considering the topic and issue that we're covering, like I can't help but feel grateful that he waded through this garbage, this trash. So what he did was he downloads the app, obviously, logs in, and yeah, there's monetization everywhere, everywhere. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. It's like, um, in a game with kids, right? Like I don't understand the necessity of having that much monetization when none of it is permanent. It's like semi-permanent. Like you'll have gift cards, and those gift cards are only available on certain game servers. So you'll have like your Dragon Ball Z server. You'll have your I don't know your Marvel superhero server. You'll have maybe even a Street Fighter server. I saw this one where Low Tier God was playing it. Why was he playing it? Now we know. Now we know. He's trying to groom himself a youngin, but like yo, he's getting punked on Roblox. The kids knew about him, and then they put a what do you call it? There's an actual character of Low Tier God in Roblox, and then they just like join the game that he's in, and he's running around making, you know, like let around Low Tier God. Low Tier God's like laughing his ass off because he's just like the joke was over his head. It's like, yo, dude, how you this fucking internet famous that like little ass kids know about you? You should kill yourself now. The least positive ass motherfucker. Yo, I used to think that maybe Viscount went a little too hard on you, but now I realize that he didn't go hard enough. You should have like permanently like sent you packing from the FGC, but then we would have never gotten all your antics about like. Well, like that, Low Sugar's not the problem. It's not the issue. Although him playing Roblox, considering the next topic I'm going to be discussing. Oh yeah, we're going to get into that one. So, as Aspen Gold will say, people will fish where the fish are. Okay. I don't want to associate that with the vile crime that I'm discussing, but that's a point. He has a fucking point. God damn it. And why? Like, if I were to get, dude, there's this one right. And I was like listening to this story on the YouTube channel about Roblox. There's this girl. She was like 13 or something, and then she went to a strip mall with a guy who was like 23 or something like that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't that like the age in America like you can drink and shit? You know what I mean? Like, couldn't this person have gone to a club? But like, again, he's playing Roblox, and he's going after little kids, little girls on Roblox. And here we are with the Roblox drama with his damn. So a lot of men, maybe some like women, old women, hunting for little boys. I mean, I should laugh at that, but it's whatever. It's better than the reverse. On Roblox, and it is a preying ground for them. It's very much, how should I put this? A safe haven for them. Not only will Roblox protect these pedophiles, right, but actively go out of its way to censor any information. They'll say it's disinformation. It's information. It's information. The idea that like we live in this like news cycle world where we have words like fake news, disinformation, right side of history, all these like unhealthy euphemisms that ultimately amounted to our suppression as a species. So we have, in the case of this Roblox incident, a very serious issue that should have been addressed years ago. And Chris Hansen is getting involved. I love Chris Hansen, man. Just never stop, man. Never stop. Um, we are dealing with possibly the greatest shadow organization of crime the world has ever seen, and it's twofold. The people who want kids on Roblox are twofold. Uh, Nefarious adults who want kids to spend these so-called gift cards and whatever on online purchases that ultimately amount to nothing, right? Like I don't know if the kids keep whatever they buy, but it just seems weird. Buy this, but I don't know. And it has like some like graphic displays of like characters, and you see. I'm looking at this one character, and it's like a Lego character, but they're wearing like a bandana, and they're holding a pistol, or someone's holding a pistol against them. This is weird. All the hood weapons. What? Oh, it's the hood. Oh my god. They have all these games, and they name it funny things. And then they have the sexually suggestive games that a lot of young adults are, you know, utilizing as a soft, like, not a placebo. What is that? Like a soft entry into having kids enticed. Ugh, so gross. Like me talking about this, I feel like a fucking idiot because it's like, what am I actually talking about when I'm talking about this? I'm glad I waited so long to make this video. It's like it's night. I'm just like, oh, I gotta talk about this shit because it's come out that not only this lawsuit that they're having with all these. It's like I think it's like going to be a class action lawsuit. So if it's not like that right now, I think it's either a few people, like a disgruntled organization, or like an individual. But then with more people like join in, different lawyers, all that stuff, that's when it becomes a class action lawsuit. And Roblox, I don't know what to say. Like, it's not part of my generation of video games, right? And it's one of the things I feared about when it came to having free-to-play games, mobile games, games that are basically graphically inferior versions of games we grew up playing, but for the sole purpose of monetization and like accessibility. So these kids can play their Roblox game on their tablet, on their parents' iPhone. Maybe they have an iPhone. I don't know. And then like so on, right? Like they could play it on like I don't know if Nintendo made a handheld outside of the Switch. Also, they could play it on a Switch too. Now, oddly enough, Chronos 2 is coming on the Switch too. And I look at it, I'm like, wow, this is a heavily graphically impressive game. But that gives me hope because I also did pre-order Daemon X Machina, so, and it's also a Switch number 2 exclusive. Switch 2. So that's neat. This Roblox issue is revealing a part of society that like I knew all along existed. Like, okay, think about it like this, right? Beyond like Chris Hansen exposing these foolish men who will go into chat rooms and say incriminating things, and then it inevitably like come down or go to this like decoy area to ultimately get busted and wind up on the show, right? Like beyond that, like there are pedophiles out there who are very much intelligent and secretive with their disorder. So from what I can amass from that, you can look at it from this point of view, right? Uh, the grooming gang scandal, and I know I said this before, there was outside help. And in the case of, you know, the UK, Germany, this, that, like, there were people inside of the government on the police force who were very, very much, how should I put this? They are very, very much in the same league, on the same team as these pedophiles. And I wouldn't put it by me that some of the pedophiles, because of the whole like boat landings and like illegal immigration, they feel reinforced. Their world that they think is going to change because look, there's a bunch of people with a religion that says 9-year-old is a pass. Like, as Hassan Abi, aka Hassan Piker, would say, old enough to count, old enough to mount. Yes, that's what he said. So, in a world with animals like this, the only way you can proceed forward is by understanding their proclivities, right? Like, one of the reasons, well, I think the main reason why Chris Hansen had his old show canceled was he caught a lawyer or a district attorney or something like that, and yeah, he's educated man, went to law school, has a very illustrious career, and he's finished, right? Like he's finished with a charge like this, and like I don't think people would want to accept others to normalize something like this. But if you can make it like a bylaw or like, a stipulation where, oh, according to my religion, this, or according to my belief, that, and if if we can get kids to consent because the government is in dire, desperate situation to get children to vote, so we're talking about like they want 17, 16-year-olds to vote because they're going out of their way to indoctrinate these kids. I love the way how the Hassan hit piece in the Time magazine or whatever is like the worst. It actually turned out to be way more homosexual than I actually initially thought, and then I realized like, yeah, it's okay for Hassan to be that way. Like I kind of knew he was like, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, there's a lot of talk that Asmongold is also like that, but I think it's more like a joking reference or something to the way because he used to be an impoverished person. He used to be a person who did not live in the luxury of wealth that Hassan did. And it's honestly funny watching him like complain about other rich people because in a world where a guy like Hassan can say all this like outlandish bullshit, there's also like a secret element of unvocal people who support him, who have these kinds of terrible beliefs, like the terrible belief that kids can be sexually attracted. Like, god damn it, I don't even want to say it. It's so disgusting. Like, okay, so Vosh says that like there could be a healthy relationship between an adult and a child sexually, is what he said. Shit. And this is the song and the dance that they do. Like they pretend to be this like righteous, more like self-righteous group of individuals, and they end up alienating everybody. Just wow. I don't know how to phrase it beyond like it's darkness. Like I actually kind of didn't want to make this video because I'm holding back on like cussing these people out and like breaking down into a possible another like rant or other shit like that, because this isn't about me or my beliefs or my biases. This is about kids getting exploited in a place that they should be safe. Like the fact that it's not even supervised actually raises an eyebrow for me. Like you'd think that if they're making money off of this website through like in-game purchases, they would have like some sort of like monitor for like any, and it's so strange, right? How Steam, through the activism of, I think it's just like a bunch of like, Karens, as they say, to censor these, hentai games, this and that. They also censored Fear and Hunger. Yep, the classic, the masterpiece, the game that is so good that if FromSoft remade it into like, with the Dark Souls engine and stuff, it will probably be like close to a masterpiece or something like that, like just like running through a dungeon, you get your arms or legs chopped off permanently. It's just like the most horrifying thing ever. And there's like, you never level up. That's probably something that like would fit in like, the like the Souls community would like something like that. Well, Roblox. It's sad that like I haven't even had kids yet, and there's so many things that I don't even know what to look out for and stuff. I'm telling you right now, like if I have kids, man, I'm buying them a console. I'm buying them a next gen console, PlayStation 6 or 7, with like whatever games that they want, like on a next gen console. I think like, you know, poor families that can't afford those consoles shouldn't have kids because the inevitability of them getting used by like, these pedophiles, these scammers on Roblox is the inevitability. But, you know, that's when I have my kids. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Hold your children safe. And if they want to play Roblox, let them, but just, watch them. Alright, later.